Hey everybody, Mike Shoesmith here. What you're looking at is my computer screen. This is a page from thetower.org, and they've got an article here on Ariel Sharon's death. That's a young Ariel Sharon right there. That's in 1948. He was 19 years old there. Strapping young man. But somebody, Brandon Gallups, Big B Gallups, sent this to me earlier. Well, we'll start reading here. It says that the passage of Ariel Sharon, soldier, general, politician, and former prime minister of Israel, is upon us at last. Israelis are saying their final goodbye to one of the country's most enigmatic, controversial, and ultimately beloved leaders. And then it says this. Now, this is what I want you guys to pay very close attention to. It says the end of Ariel Sharon is the symbolic end of a generation. Let me read that again. The end of Ariel Sharon is the symbolic end of a generation. A generation of men and women who knew a world without a Jewish state and fought on a battlefield and in the political arena to establish it, who in its service endured the love and hatred of many, and are now swiftly passing. Did you notice that? They're now swiftly passing, as they must, from the world. A generation of lions for a people who had so long been lambs. The word generation there is used several times here. 1, 2, 3 times. So one, looks like 3 times there. 3 times in this one paragraph. That's important. And I'm glad I'm not the only one who sees that as important, because it does that. That is the type of language that we see used here. Let me zoom out, go to my Theophilus Study Bible, and we'll zoom back in here. Because this is Luke 21. Luke 21 is the end time, last age chapter of Luke, and he's talking about the dynamics that'll be in play in the world when his return is at hand. And we'll begin here. Let's start in verse 24, and we'll start in verse 25. There shall be signs in the sun, the moon, and the stars. We've got the 4 blood moons coming up this year and next, by the way, so we're keeping an eye on that. There was signs in the sun, moon, and stars, and upon the earth distress of nations. Good grief. Do we have distress of nations today or what? I mean, even today, people are dying in Syria every day now. Distress of nations. Are you kidding me? With perplexity, and the sea and the waves roaring. Sea and the waves roaring. Somebody sent me pictures of 30-foot waves pummeling Great Britain last week. It's amazing, the sea and the waves roaring. In the last 10 years, how many hundreds of thousands of people have died because of tsunamis, the seas and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear. People are in terrible fear these days. They just are. They're for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. The powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in the cloud with great glory. Right? And then he says, when these things begin to pass, then look up. And I'll tell you what, man, those of us here at ppsimmons, we're looking up. I'm surprised we don't crash our cars. I mean, we're looking up. We expect any day now to be out of here. But anyway, he says, when you see these things come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption is near. Then he says something in verse 29, very interesting. He says, then he spoke to them a parable. And he says, behold the fig tree and all the trees. And it's interesting that he mentions the fig tree, because the fig tree is quite often referred to as Israel in the Bible, right? The fig tree. When they now shoot forth, you see and know of your own selves that summer is now nigh at hand. And he says, so likewise, when you see these things come to pass, know ye that the kingdom of God is nigh at hand. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass away until all be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass away. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. Anyway, we're not going to make this a lengthy one here, but he says that consider the fig tree, which is a representation of Israel. The fig tree was gone. Israel was gone. Now we have Israel back in the land, as prophesied by the Bible, as proof of God, proof of His existence. As you know, as we look at Israel in the land now, we see that as evidence that we are in the last days, that the end time is not coming, the end time is now. And he says, behold the fig tree when they shoot forth. You see now of your own selves that summer is nigh. Now there is currently 6 million people living in Israel today. 6 million people. That is the same number of people who were killed the same number of Jews. There were many people killed by Hitler. He killed all of the people that had mental health issues, the homosexuals. He killed a lot of people. He killed 6 million Jews, but he killed a lot more people than that. Many people may not realize that. But there are 6 million people living in Israel today, 6 million Jews in Israel today. So that is the number that is the number that was killed in the Holocaust. Many people don't realize that. That number is there now. So here we have the mention of the generation, a generation, and he brings that in with the fig tree here. So what generation is he talking about? Well, is he talking about this generation right here? The generation of men and women who knew a world without a Jewish state and fought on the battlefield and in the political arena to establish it, who in its service endured the love and hatred of many and are now swiftly passing, as they must, from the world? So this generation is passing. And Jesus said, it's funny he uses that terminology, now swiftly passing. When Jesus said, this generation shall not pass away till all be fulfilled, and this writer here, Benjamin Kirstein, says, I don't know what his faith system is like, what his worldview is, this writer, but look what he's writing here. Ariel Sharon is the symbolic end of a generation. Now the generation, he says, a few lines down, he says this generation is swiftly passing. Jesus said it would not completely pass away. So does this mean, what does this mean? Does this mean that I mean, we're seeing a fascinating convergence of Bible prophecy here, folks. We're seeing Bible prophecy converge on an epic scale, with the trumpets being fulfilled with stunning clarity. And we are rapidly approaching the seventh trumpet, which is the rapture of the church. And here we have this guy using very biblical language here. The Jewish state, generations, passing away. Anyway, just something for you guys to think about. My name is Mike Shoesmith. Thanks for watching.